Third overall, American steer, Kaylee Murray.
Good morning, guys. It is Saturday and we have a show today and I'm so excited. So we got all the animals washed. I woke up at 4:30 and washed Apollo and Cedar, so they are all clean. Oakley, Willow, and Rocky got a bath last night, so they are clean as well. They've been in the stalls overnight. Got the trailer packed and loaded. Everything's ready. So all I gotta do is load the cows up, load the last few things, and hit the road. Big jump, okay? Come on. Come on. I know. Hey, step. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh. There we go. But I believe you can. Not all there.
Apollo, go sideways.
Senior Showman, Group A, Taylor Huff, Jamison Wheelock, Kaylin Murray, Camden Culverhouse, Jenna Tanksley, Rihanna Holcomb, Lily Bandy, Hayden Fowler, and Ryan Gutierrez.
Jacob Harris, Kaylee Murray, Kaylee Murray.
Well, this is an absolutely fantastic group of young women that are flat out getting it done. And again, I keep apologizing. Everybody's in fair shape and a fair look at me. I do think showmanship, first impressions are at the forefront. You got to be striking right from the get-go, whether it's class or showmanship. But I do empathize for some of these cattle, especially the ones from here. We want to keep working their way fast so they don't have to sit out in the sun for too long. You know, with that being said, I think you can't go wrong in which one you like best. The thing is, when we get to this level of showmanship, this level of ability, and nobody's making major mistakes, that's when it just comes down to personal preference. And I tell you, I'd much rather sort your stock than sort your kiddos because I think then it's just a bit tougher because I think all of these young women do a fantastic job. Let's give them a hand, and I'll show you the way I like them for first and fifth.
3 of AOB heifers, I need you on deck. Class 2 and Class 3 of AOB heifers on deck. Natalie McNabb, I need you ringside for Class 2 of AOB heifers. Class 1 is in the ring.
Challenging set of cattle to work through. There's a lot of differences, and I think the top pair of them gets really close. Got some keys and some maintainers showing against each other. I guess for me, when we start talking about structural correctness, some femininity, some refinement, I think the young man's smoky heifer just rises to the forefront. In the grand scheme of things, I'd love to see her just wolfier through the center portion of her body cavity. I'd like to make her just wider as she leaves you. But again, in a female show, I thought functionality sure favored her, and that's what brought her to the forefront. I wish the red and white heifer would show herself off, because her fight in the halter really isn't helping her piece together right down her top line. But I think when you really break her down, she is genuinely more massive, and her rib cage genuinely thicker-ended. Like I said, I think she reached just a bit coarser up through her front end, her head, and her neck, just a bit off in her hip, and to me, it just threw her out of balance. We start looking into the black heifer, and she's loaded with power, and I like her extra bulk and density. Unfortunately, I think she probably is the one that reads just the most coarse. I'd like to set her shoulder onto her body cavity in a smoother fashion, give her a more ladylike shape to her head and neck up front, and level her out of her hip. But an excellent group of 3. Let's give them a hand as they exit the arena. Challenging group of 3 to sort through, and if you came to me and you wanted to argue it in a different way, I think you'd have some very valid points. The cattle are different, the cattle need to be better in different areas, and the cattle excel in different areas, and so I think those contrasts certainly pose some challenge. I think at the end of the day, the one that probably in my mind puts the most good together is the young lady's white heifer. I'll be the first to tell you, I wish I could upgrade her in the shape to her rear foot, make her a bit softer in her back pasture, and to amplify her athleticism and durability at the surface. But I think when you look past that, she's the one that balances well right now for me, because she's so good through the center portion of her body cavity. She's got a neat look up front. I like her bone, I like her stoutness, and yet I still think she reads somewhat maternal in some areas. And so I think that's the one I opted to land on. So then we go on the floor.
This is the AOB heifer final drive. Willow got 3rd overall AOB heifer. So this is Rocky's first show, and when he's at the house, he does really good, but he doesn't really like people that he doesn't know, and he also doesn't really like loud noises. So I am so proud of how he did at the show. I did not think he was going to behave that well, but he did so good and he ended up getting third in his class.
For a pairing calf, he's not stout enough for me. He don't have enough muscle, he's not big enough footed. But in the grand scheme of things, I liked his balance quality, I liked his speedability, I liked his structural integrity, and in my mind, that was good enough to get him in the second place today. 3 and 4 also get close, and I tell you why, because the black calf that's going to go ahead and be third of the bottom 3 is undoubtedly the most muscular. I like him from a feedability perspective. He looks like a good, real-world kind of a calf, and even if we threw him out in a feedlot setting, he'd thrive. We chalk him up to the cattle in the ring, though, and he's a bit lower fronted. He's a bit off in terms of his look up front. In the grand scheme of things, the calf's pretty long-bodied and maybe just a bit more tucked up in his flank. But again, muscle, real world, some feedability aspects, very, very sound. A good kind of a fat steer prospect. I know this old guy's taking the heat tough, and it's good to go ahead and get him out. He's still pretty.
So now we have Apollo, and he is going to be in the American Influence Steers.
Oh, my bad. This is class 3. I'm wrong. Class 3.
For Larry, I think it gets tough, and I kept going back and forth, but I guess to me, the young lady's black calf just reads a bit more genuine in his overall muscularity when you compare him to the brindle in front of him. He's not perfect. He's a bit lower fronted, a bit rounder shouldered, a bit rounder out of his hip. He doesn't have the bone or feature that we see in the others, but I think from just a completion standpoint, having an awesome rib cage, quite a bit of muscle, that's where he finds himself in the top end. I love the bone. I love the silhouette that we get out of his hip and hind leg and his brindle. My biggest issue with him is he's pretty fat at this stage of the game. He's a bit chubbier up through his front end.
Third overall, American steer, Taylor Murray.
The steer that won my class ended up getting grand champion American Influence Steer, so Apollo got to come back in, and we got third overall American Influence Steer. Alright guys, so we just got home and got all the cows unloaded and out in the pasture so they can go and lay down and drink some water. So overall, today was a pretty good day. We went in with showmanship first, and I was in the first class of seniors. Got called back, so that was good, and then got second overall senior showmanship, so that was pretty good. Willow did really good. I'm so proud of how she's doing. And then we went in the ring with Cedar and Oakley. I had one of my friends show Oakley, so Cedar got second in her class and Oakley got third. So Cedar got second, and the main reason that she got second is because she wasn't behaving. So the judge couldn't really get a very good look at her. So, and when the way she was kind of walking, it made her look weird. The judge said so, but that's okay. And then so next we had Willow, and Willow went in for her class. She was in the second class of heifers, and she went in and got first in her class, so she did good. And then she got to go back in the ring for top 5, and she ended up getting third overall AOB heifer. And then we had Rocky. He went in. He did pretty good for Rocky. And then he got third in his class. So, and then we had to go in for Apollo. And Apollo got second in his class, but got to come back in the ring for the top 5. And he ended up getting third overall American Influenced Steer. So overall, it was a good day. The 3 new cows got to go in the ring, did really good. I'm so proud of everyone. So make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos like this one, and see you on the next one. Peace out.